This weekend we're going for a hike, me and my youngest son. It's sunny and like -6 or 7 degrees. We're hiking outside Stockholm. Building our own shelter is not only fun for the kids, but it is also a very fine opportunity for us to try out all our gear. This is the Bushman cold steel I've carried for many years. There I go. I can really recommend this Bushman from cold steel. This is my third actually. I lost one and gave away one. And it's good for throwing as well. There is a hole here as well. So if you want to, or if you carry a nail, you can just drive it through here. But you don't need that. I mean, the force comes from this direction. And so you don't need that basically. So that was the cold steel Bushman. Then I have this shovel, which is a military shovel. I can't recall what it's called right now, but it's as good as an axe if you sharpen the edges here. I mean, it's as good as an axe, and it's as heavy as an axe, and you can dig with it as well. So if you don't know what to buy or bring for your hike, if you're outdoors year round actually, these are the two things I've come up with are the best for any outdoor activity in the forest. Over 20, 25, 30 years actually I've been outdoors. This is the best knife you can own. You can do everything with it. And it's easy to keep a sharp edge on. And you get fire steel included. And this shovel is something I recommend as well. And you don't need to carry an axe if you have these two. Just sharpen one of the edges here, or cut with the knife. So what more could you bring on your hike? I'm just gonna back here and show you what I packed. This is the winter hike, so I of course brought headlights, a couple of them, and some paracord of course, a lot of paracord actually. And I need to recharge my phone with something, and then mostly the usual stuff you can see here, and some more rope. You need a lot of rope, but this pot here is actually a very important thing to bring if you want to boil water, which you want to if you drink coffee and stuff, or if the kids want hot chocolate. And then you probably would want something else to drink, of course. And this being a winter hike, I of course wear very warm clothing all the time. And I put a lot of effort into choosing the correct warm shoes, of course. This is the cold steel Bushman, and it's my third actually. It's the best knife I've ever owned, and dropped sadly. It has the shape that you can use it as both as a knife and as an axe. And you can fashion a spear with it easily. I've done that many times. And you can throw this knife as well. And it doesn't weigh much. Maybe, I don't know, 200 grams or something. And the sheath comes with fire steel as well. The new type of sheath. Some years ago this sheath was in nylon. And this is maybe one of my oldest survival possessions. It's a Gränsforsbruk axe. And I've done many things with this, including putting down animals, sadly. And this is a combat shovel, which I've used a lot, but it doesn't look like that. This one was actually with me last year when we were out winter camping, when we managed to hit minus 14 degrees centigrades during the night. And I've cut down a tree with this one, a Christmas tree or a pine tree. It's basically as good as an axe if you sharpen the edges of it. And it's really both a shovel and an axe and a weapon. I would prefer using this one over an axe actually, if I ever found myself in combat, close combat. This one is really an evil weapon. And I bring a couple of storm lanterns as well. A couple of the smaller ones. I actually collect storm lanterns. And I have them all over the house. And these are foil hands, with the foil hand marking on the glasses. And they are quite expensive, but very decorative. If you don't want to have too many flowers, you could just decorate with these instead. When you venture out into the forest, is to bring a lot of old stumps of candle. These are the best things ever to light with. This is bread dough we prepared. Just take the bread dough and twist it around a branch or a small twig and put into the fire. And it's the same principle as marshmallows basically, but you get bread instead. You need of course have your food gear as well. And the most important thing to bring is a pan that you can put into the fire to boil water. I wouldn't go anywhere without it. This is one of my son's backpacks, and as you see I've attached my axe to his backpack and not to mine, because I want to be able to access this axe fast if I need to. I will also attach this spade or shovel. Actually it has the form of a spade to his backpack, so I can easily get to it when I need to. And a couple of knives of course. If you don't want to pack those away, then they're useless. So always put them on the outside of your backpack. And not in here. One of the most important things to remember is never pack away your lantern with your food if you have kerosene inside it. Kerosene spoils food and it becomes unedible. And if you tilt these ones too much, they will start leaking. So I always keep my lanterns on the outside. And it looks really nice as well to keep them here, but they can leak anyway if your backpack falls. So always try to lean your backpack against something. And for that reason, and many other reasons, I still use these rigid frame backpacks. One of the things you can do with it is to lean it to something very easily. Then you can carry as much weight as you want to on this one. So you can even carry a human being on it if you needed to. The problem with this time of year is that the water you bring actually freezes during the night, and we always have problems with that. In the morning everything is frozen deep solid, and you likely bring your water inside plastic bottles. I've done that now as well. And you cannot put the plastic bottles into the fire. But what you can do is put the glass bottle into the fire. And be really careful with it, and then it won't break. Just put it into the fire and let it heat. and open the cork, of course, otherwise it will explode. So when we have finished this one, I will pour the water over into this one, so I can put it in the fire afterwards. And be really careful with this one, with a glass bottle. When it's heated up, it will explode if you put it on the rock. So, but if you handle it correctly, you can put water into it and keep it in the ashes over the night, so the water doesn't freeze. I've thought many times about going over from this old type of frame backpack to a newer model, which is much lighter and easier to store and stuff. There are many benefits from not having this rigid metal frame on your backpack. Then again, this backpack has been with me for 30 years or so now, and it's been all over Iceland, Scandinavia, and it's been through a lot. It's actually been almost into quicksand as well. And I really like the feeling of being able to pack as many kilos as I could possibly want. And I think I maxed maybe 35 kilos in this one. Doesn't sound that much, but that's really heavy. And you could probably go up to 90 kilos if you wanted to. And if you could manage to carry that, of course. And this metal frame can be used for so many other things as well, if you're in a pinch. It's like the ultimate survival tool. And this Haglöf's backpack, 120 I think it's called, for 120 liters, it has this pocket here where you can put an axe or a saw or something, or a knife. And I usually put my main knife here, inside here, and you can tighten here so that it doesn't fall out. And then it becomes really easily accessible from outside when you put down your backpack. And I put the spade here on my son's backpack. It's easily accessible too, as well as the axe there. You see, this type of backpacks, they don't stand up when you put them against something. So I really much more like this frame type. It will stay there if I wanted to. I need to get out now. It's almost 10 o'clock and the sun is going down in 3.5 hours, so it's time to move out. We were supposed to build a teepee, but once at it we decided to build a sort of a house instead. We used one branch here just to secure to this tree. So this will be the final installation of this house. And then we just put the cover over and we're done, actually, I think. Oh, and we're done, actually. I don't know why not everybody does this. The best way to bake bread ever. And we'll make another one. Okay. This is a good trick. If you know what you're doing, you can actually heat glühwein in the fire, straight in the bottle. It becomes really hot and really fragile, so when you take it out, it will explode if you put it on rock. It's like a comb out of ice. It really works.
That's a tongue.
These are gigantic boulders from the last ice age. They're called flyttblock in Swedish, like moved rock. Everywhere in Sweden, or some parts of Sweden at least. And they're really fine places to play for the kids, and looks like you even can live here actually. This is a nice cave. So these are ice age stone boulders, and they are also great for bouldering if you're into that. I used to do that around here, but I don't have the time anymore. Just bring a crash pad and climb up this. No one has bouldered here since there's a lot of moss all over the surface. You can see which boulders are used for bouldering just by judging on the surface. There are a lot of these places where it's folklore or folk tales from 17th and 18th century that robbers used to live temporarily or permanently actually in these kind of caves. They're very stealthy, and then they would set out and rob the people passing by. In Kolmården, the dark woods in a bit south of Stockholm, maybe 200 kilometers, there is a famous cave called the Robbers Cave, Rövargrottan, where there's actually proof that there lived 11 or 12 or 13 robbers, which they robbed a local girl, and they lived there, 13 robbers and a girl, for like many years before they were rooted out.